I started looking at sort of the media field. We've been using obviously Orchard for many years. The media field we've obviously used all the time in our websites, and we wanted just to sort of look at the user experience of it, and especially our internal team here, the marketing people, they found it a little bit tricky to understand how it worked. So we just wanted to see if there's a sort of another editor we could come up with to sort of help that. So I probably won't go into too much detail about, you already know what the media field currently looks like. So if you obviously select an image at the minute, you click OK, it then obviously then shows you the preview. And then if you wanted to replace this image, you'd first have to delete it out, and then again add click the plus button again, select the new image, and so on. Same thing with the alt text or the anchor tag. You'd have to obviously select it first of all before these actions become active. So when you've got a sort of a single media field, it's a bit weird how you've kind of already got one there, and then you'd have to reselect it just to have those settings. And then obviously that's kind of mirrored then for the multiple one as well. So if you had multiple ones there, you then have to select that first, go up to the top, and then select sort of the actions that you want to do. So we kind of just wanted to look at how we could simplify that process. So we created a new editor for the media field. If I just go and change those over, we've called it Gallery. Again, we didn't want to change anything Orchard does. Our editor sort of standalone, if you like. So we didn't want to have to clone any of the media.js files or anything like that. We wanted to make sure it worked without any editing of that. So I'm just going to change these over to the gallery. It will work. There we go. If we go back in and I create a new page. So instead of now, if it's a single one, you don't have that top bar. You kind of have this placeholder block, if you like, where it's just, you know, you've got the plus media library. So we can click anywhere on here, and then that will bring up the media library, and then we can choose whatever image we like, and then that populates it. What's nice about this as well is because we got that placeholder sort of allocated first space-wise, we don't get any sort of layout shift in the UI, which is kind of nice. So if I delete this one, it doesn't change, the bits underneath here doesn't then shoot up above, so it kind of keeps everything nice and simple, and just stops all that layout shift that you may get with the other one. Same, you know, we click on this and we select this image. If we wanted to replace this image, we could easily do that. We just hover over the image and then it'll show the plus media library again. Click on that and we can choose a new image, and then it just replaces it out with that new selected image. We don't have to select it again to go and get all the actions, because the actions are already part of this card. So we've got the media text. What we wanted to do here as well, which we found difficult, was we always say to our clients, you know, make sure you always add the media text, because we use it for the alternative text. So it's really important to make sure you would do that. Sometimes it's hard to see if you've added any alternative text. So what we've come up with here is we use this outline of a speech bubble, which indicates there is no text entered. And then if I click on that, and then I'll just type in some text, you'll now see that that speech bubble is now being filled. So then that's a sort of an easy indicator to the user that they've got text applied to it. Same thing as here, so you've got your anchor tag, sorry, so you can click on that. You don't have to select the image again. It's just kind of all there. So it really makes the sort of the flow of single images really nice and easy to use. And again, you know, we can just remove those and it doesn't again shift. So the multiple one, very similar really. We kind of just used that same block picker down here, but we've also included the sort of the toolbar at the top. So if we come into here, I'll just if I just select all in there and add those in. So it adds them in there. So what's kind of nice about this is you can add images by clicking this. So you'd have to scroll up to the top if you didn't really want to. And again, you don't have to select any images. You can just go in and click the one that you want to edit, and yeah, it will just then populate. And as you can see here, from a visual aspect, you can easily see that this doesn't have any media text. This has media text applied, sorry, all the others don't. So it's a way of the user really understanding what they need to do to get that information in. We also looked at the media library that loads up. Obviously, you've got the toolbar on the top for different sizes and views. So we've kind of brought that in as well, so we can shrink the blocks down a little bit. So it kind of gives you a bit more of a compact view if you wanted to. And we've also got a list view as well. So again, sort of mimics a little bit like what's in the media library. So it depends on which sort of view that you like, basically. We've also introduced the multi-select or multi-ordering that you just saw a second ago. My colleague, Al Quinn, he spent a bit of time trying to work out how we can select multiple items. We have had fields in the past that have had maybe 50 or 60 media items applied, and then when you kind of group them and you want to move things from the bottom to the top, it can be quite difficult. So what we've done is we've allowed like multi-select, so I can drag these three and I can just drag them up to the top, and then it kind of moves them there. And that applies the same here as well. If I grab these three here, and we can just drag them at the beginning, and then that puts them there. So yeah, with the multi-field, the only difference here is you can't switch them out like you can do in the single one. You do just add them and then remove them as you want. So yeah, this is just sort of the sort of the field that we had, and we had in a module in a sort of a private repository that we use, and we've got some really good feedback, and we just kind of wanted to share with you guys what we've been doing really, and get some feedback from you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's great. Any comment from anyone using the media library or images?
I like what I saw. Just one thing, when you hover over the icon, the speak bubble, it'd be nice to kind of display the selected text.
Yes.
Because right now you can't really, you just say edit text media, but you don't know what the text says. So on that other one where you have a text, if you hover over it, it should kind of tell you what text was provided or something like that. Another thing, it might be nice to kind of have a wrapper around the multi-field, so that way the buttons or the bar on the top, it looks like it's part of the entire section, like it's integrated as a one. Because right now it looks like the button is floating there. Yes, we understand where it is now, but if this was like a card or something, like the whole thing was a card, I think it'll make it even better. But good job. I like what I see. I think it's good. Maybe we should put this in Orchard directly.
Excellent. So I was thinking the same thing as you were with the alt text. I was reviewing this after I put the PR in. I thought that'd be a nice feature to have. There's a couple of extra things I'd like to get in there as well. The possibility of inserting images at a certain point would be nice as well. Just thinking with those times when users do have many items in a field. It's certainly been the case for us anyway when we've used on a couple of our websites that they kind of have all these items, and it is difficult sometimes to insert media items where they want to. So there's definitely room for improvement. So that's good to know.
Nice. I don't like the bubble icon, but that's my personal opinion. It doesn't matter. Just keep. I don't get what it does. No, I know after the demo I do, but I feel that something's missing. It doesn't feel natural. I don't know. Something is weird. Anyone else? So we'll review the PR. 56 files. It's huge.
Again, it doesn't touch any of the other media. We haven't made any changes to the media JS file or anything like that. This is a standalone editor.
It's not even new files. That's weird. So maybe it's just new lines. That's weird.
There should be some new files.
Well, but what I'm seeing, Mike.
No, I was just looking at this. I didn't mean to interrupt, but like the icons, why not? They're not centered. Shouldn't they be centered instead of shifted to one side? Trash, maybe make it a red or something so people understand. Instead of plus media library, maybe plus media. You're not adding a library, you're adding a media.
I don't know. Yeah.
Just more thoughts.
Maybe some things feel not natural because it's a different. There are some different paradigms here than the ones that we use in some other pages, and maybe that's some little oddities. Yeah, that can be done in later PRs if people want to improve or file issue complaining. Just to discuss that, find better solutions. Cool. Thank you. And that's an editor, which means nobody will be bothered by anything unless you really want that. Good job. Thank you, Nick. Where are you based from?
Based in Newquay.
Okay.
So we've had many people on this channel from the company I work for. Dean Markison used to work for Buzz, so I used to be a colleague of Dean's.
Okay.
So we've been using Orchard for many years. We're just scared of contributing a lot of the time, so we're trying to make a bit more of an effort now and share some of the stuff we've been doing with you guys.
Thank you.